So you mean so unconditional? So there's not necessarily a meaning attached to it. Just goes back to the
It's just boundless. Yeah. There's reluctance here to say that everything is unconditional love, because again, that just doesn't mean anything to the me, because that includes the totality of everything that could possibly be known or not known. That doesn't, that means that war is unconditional love, and so there's a great reluctance to say that that everything is unconditional love. However, unconditional freedom, that this, whatever this is totally, ungraspable, incomprehensible, unconditionally free, can appear as anything, separation, all of the things that are happening in the world that we see, of knees trying to get better experiences through power, fame, drugs, warfare, it's like, that is unconditional freedom. If you put the word unconditional there, it's like, well, if that's not unconditional freedom, then you've conditioned it. So everything is unconditional, whatever. You can put unconditional pizza, it's like, unconditional means boundless, beyond polarities, boundaries, beyond anything that could possibly be comprehended.
So how do you, that's an interesting question, considering what I'm saying. So you've got there's unconditional freedom, it kind of isn't. So then, how does one, I suppose, because then, what would stop? What would somebody going out and committing a crime then? It's because I'm thinking moralistically, it doesn't mean that all rules or bets are off.
Yeah. So that is a common response to what's being suggested here. And the suggestion is that would be trying to apply what's being said here. It can't be applied, and there's no you to choose to do this or that. That could happen, but no one would be doing it. Again, hard pill to swallow. No one's doing anything.
So obviously, I know that I wouldn't want to physically hurt somebody. Because I know that I would feel a thing.
Morality is all part of the story of me trying to get a better experience. It's also programming, conditioning. I've grown up in this society, this is what I believe, this is what my parents and my family and my teachers taught me to do and how to behave. If the body was born 150 years ago in a different world, slavery and, sexism, misogyny, that was happening, and that would have seemed very normal to most people. 2,000 years ago, it would have been probably considered by most apparent bodies normal to go and watch two men kill each other in a ring. It's like that's conditioning and programming in a certain environment that seems to have, the idea of morality is also real and unreal. It's an appearance, like everything else. The me feels like it needs morality so that it can stay on the straight and narrow towards, on a path that's seen through by nothing. It's not seeing through. It's seeing through is so lousy a term, really. I said that in the last video, and it was.
Is it? So it's not necessarily. So it. Because I'm thinking, is it inherent then? In terms of me, sort of again, obviously, at one point in history, that was seen as conditioning.
So again, nothing wrong or right with morality. Within morality, everything is wrong or right. But actual morality here, that's not seen as wrong or right. It's just what is. It's just what's happening. I know.
It's kind of scary because part of it. Well,
that's liberation. That's the liberation. But the me doesn't really want that. It wants to know that it's in this. Sort of, what's the word, container, moving in this direction on this path, so it doesn't end up in jail or dead or, suffering. That's the story of me. Nothing wrong or right with that, but that's what it is, apparently. When that me falls away, apparently, and it's revealed that it never was, the body still goes on with its programming and conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, going to work, eating, sleeping, drinking, you know, being chatty with people and not stealing, you know, it's like that conditioning and programming is actually nothing to do with me, nothing to do with it. Really thinks it is. That's another nutrition, you know, that the me seems to live on. But actually, the me really isn't doing anything. It really seems it is, and that will never be believed or understood or comprehended. That would be trying to apply this. It would be, okay, how do I live without morality? Or how do I get to this? How do I experience my own absence? That's what the me does with this. It's like trying to rationalise it, and you know.
It's interesting because I find I feel kind of a lack of, feels like there's less pressure. It's
Absolutely.
I don't know. The only way I can describe it is
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
There's no. It's
just an evenness. Yeah.
Then you wake up tomorrow, what are you going to do?
It's interestingly. It's interestingly comforting because I'm personally so wrapped up in expectation and perfectionism and really judgmental. I'm realizing, and I live my life. It's all directed inwards. I have like a ledger because that's what was given to me. So on some level, unconsciously, I'm doing that as well. I'm tired. Yeah, it's tiring. Like,
Do you know what drives that? Ego.
Fear. Yeah, ego. Fear. Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So
Misidentification with ego.
What do you mean misidentification?
So you're identifying that ego as you. It's why you have so much expectation, you act upon that. You're above that. That's what you do not realise. Everything else is just something you're chasing, which is not, for the mind and body, for your own ego and sense gratification.
You used a very key word, which is pressure. Yeah. Pressure seems to perpetuate ego. Expectation as well, absolutely. Key words. Pressure, expectation, shoulds. That's a biggie. I should be doing this, or I shouldn't be doing that. Shame comes in. Shame and should is obviously interconnected.
Shame and guilt.
And it's revealed that that's all wonderfully meaningless and totally nonsensical. Me hates that because it exposes the nonsense of its own story trying to get somewhere better. But this is already everything, it's already whole. And the me will never agree or recognise with that. It won't even subscribe to it. It just hears that as nonsense, it's BS, it's nihilistic, don't want to hear anymore, let me go. But then something else seems to, this is not how it is, but something else seems to apparently hear that, and then, because there's something going on there. It's like there's this resistance, but there's also this relaxation apparently underneath that. There's this kind of sensitivity, and it's like, oh, I don't know how I sit with this. How do I sit with this lack of morality and choice and free will? The me is like getting in there and at war with it. This is typical of, of the story of me. It's like the me, leaning in. It's putting its head into the tiger's mouth. That's what it's doing. It doesn't know whether it wants to. Well, it definitely doesn't want to. But sometimes it seems to intuit that this total relaxation and let go, which it can't actually do, but that is liberation.
So it's not necessarily an active letting go. Letting go is also.
So action is what's apparently happening. Me never acts. Never chooses, never decides. Decisions, choice apparently happens through the programming of the brain. Me never does anything about that.